A Gleam. Let's get the Gleam, all right? Let's go.
From the shores of Lake Erie
to Browns fans worldwide,
hope is alive and the future's bright.
I'm John. This is There's a Gleam.
And I'm Steve. Let's get the Gleam together. And good afternoon, everybody, and welcome to another edition of There's a Gleam. We are part of the Fanatical Elf Sweat Network, which is also a part of the Fans First Sports Network. As we said, I'm Steve, he's John, and you know, I always got to do it, John. One of my favorite parts. How you feeling today, buddy?
I'm doing good, Steve. I'm writing checks my body can't cash right now. I'm doing so good. I don't even know what that means, but I feel good. It's sunny out. Browns have a new coach. So I'm doing good. How are you feeling? I know you're kind of under the weather today, huh?
Yeah, I was feeling good, and I've come around to the whole coaching thing. I was like, you know what? I'm going to be pretty optimistic. You know, giving it some time. It's been a week, but I went to bed last night. I had a little bit of a sore throat, and then I woke up middle of the night, about 2 a.m, sore throat. I'm shivering, freezing. At one point, I had a temp of 102, but you know what? Show must go on. So I'm feeling a little better. My wife's been great. She's been feeding me a bunch of pills and Dayquil, and I think cough drops, and I think something else, and drinking hot tea. So we'll see.
Well, that's good. I hope you get better soon.
Do you really?
I really do.
I love you.
Well, for your wife's sake.
What's that?
For your wife's sake, for Deb's sake.
That's true. I'm a baby when I'm sick. I'll just be honest.
What guy isn't a baby when they're sick?
I milk it. I'm worse than the average guy. I got to admit.
I'm worse. I have a sniffle and I'm on the couch with a blanket.
I'm like, Deb, can you get me this? Deb, can you get me that? Deb, she's a saint. But full disclosure, you know, we're talking about doing a big Super Bowl show, grand Super Bowl. I kept thinking, I've been doing this now for like 2 weeks. I thought it was next week. The game was like the following Sunday. So we'd have next Wednesday to do our whole big Super Bowl show. And you had said something to me last night in that text, like, you do realize the Super Bowl's this Sunday, right?
I said something to you last week at the end of the show. I said, Steve, the Super Bowl's next week.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah. I'm sick. You know, and I've been seeing Dog Chug, our friends over at Dog Chug, the Bougie Sports girls that are all doing, catch those shows out. Bougie Sports is tonight, I think at 8.
Oh, yeah, they've got like I saw they have like a Super Bowl special.
Yeah, Dog Chug, they're on tonight at like 9:30. I think it's just the original OG guys, Roger, Andy, and Ed. Lana does the Bougie Sports with Yvette and Lysandra. I kept seeing people, some people talking about what they're doing for food. I'm like, wait, you guys are a little early here. We got a whole. So I didn't put 2 and 2 together, I guess. So anyway, we are going to talk. We are going to talk some Super Bowl stuff, not as much as I thought we would, because quite honestly, I didn't get enough ready because I thought I had more time, but we are going to talk some stuff. So if you're watching live, feel free to comment. We'd love to hear from you and what's on your mind. John, I got to ask you before we get off here.
Yeah.
Have you been doing that whole chat GPT trend?
I have no idea what you're talking about.
I've been seeing like on X and Facebook, people popping up these pictures of them, and you know, you go on Chat GPT and it'll make something up. So of course,
you type in, you have to type something in. You got to give Chat GPT a instruction.
Yeah, and it tells you I Googled it, like make a creative character. I did mine of our Browns podcast called There's a Gleam, and use everything you know about me. And I uploaded a picture of myself.
What about me?
Oh yeah. I'll be honest. I don't really
tailgating.
I don't have a really good recent photo of both of us.
All right. Do you have the picture though? You can show on to the.
I do. Of course I do.
I love that.
I'm like, okay, my face is fat, which all right, I'm a little bit bigger of a guy, but my teeth are nice and white and straight. So I'm like that. It's pretty close to my background, but so that was my chat sheet, right? So it was messing up. At first I did it on my computer, then I was trying just on like online on whatever. It said the best way to do it is upload the Chat GPT app. And once I did that, it went through pretty quick. And so there you go. There's my beautiful mug there.
That's pretty good. I like that. Matter of fact, since
Noah Bermudez. Hi, Noah.
What's up, Noah?
Football boys Y'all are Browns fans. Yes, we are. Born and raised in Cleveland and love the Browns. So, all right. So let's get right into it, John. A lot of Browns news this past week. Obviously, when we started our show, and why is your phone in front of me?
There you go. I just took a picture. I'm going to do the chat GPT thing while we're talking.
Oh, boy. Well, no, this is your time to shine, my friend.
Okay.
Why we're gone? Well, we broke the news during our show, right before our show, that the Browns had announced Monken. I got to admit, at first I wasn't too happy, wasn't too thrilled, but had a week to think
You were
about it.
ready to jump. You were ready to jump off the 480 bridge last week. And,
Yeah, you know what?
I was trying to talk you down, and
You
then I didn't really talk you down that great. And then I felt like I was up there with you, and I felt good going into the whole thing. So I don't know what happened.
Yep. Now I talked to some friends, been reading stuff. We got some videos we're gonna play, and you know what? It's growing on me. You know, it's obvious they wanted to go to offensive side because our offense has been so bad. Monken's had success, so we'll talk about it some more. But yeah, the big news this week was Todd Monken had his presser the other day, and I thought that was pretty interesting. What do you think?
I liked it. I liked some of the things that he had to say. Couple points that I wrote down real quick about that presser was one thing he said is all he ever wanted to do was coach football. And every game that he ever got pretty much as a kid was a football game. So I imagine he was playing like Stratomatic football, APBA football, and all, the dice games and all that stuff.
Right.
Then he said the version of him today is better than the version we would have gotten 10 to 15 years ago, which I like to hear. That means he's grown and he understands the game more. And so I thought that was a good takeaway. And then the one last one I had too was he holding this is about holding players accountable.
Yeah.
He holds them accountable for their dreams and aspirations, and he helps them fight like hell to achieve that. So those are some takeaways from that press conference that really I thought kind of really won me over with Todd Monken.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I agree. We got a little clip. There was a video he did. This was, I don't remember where this was. It wasn't like at his presser. This was at a different time, but this was, you actually shared this with me. I thought it was really good, but this is Todd Monken here.
We're expected to excel every week. So there's going to be high stress. There's going to be frustration. There's going to be times where they look at me and they're like, why don't we call this? Why don't we run this? Why don't we use this player more? That comes with the territory. I mean, that's no shit, and like, I get it. I'm not mad at anybody, but the media acts like that's something that's like, woo, the players are frustrated with the play calling. Well, no shit. My wife is. I mean, so I don't even understand it. Like, they act like it's something that, or this skill player wants the ball more. Well, no shit. They want to run the ball more. Well, no shit. Okay, you're running it more. We're too conservative. It's play to play, drive to drive. It's, hey, he's in his bag. The next one, he's too trick dicky. I mean, it is what it is, but they act like it's a big deal.
That was
no
good.
Shit.
No shit.
I love it. How can you not like that?
It's so funny because, you always think that these coaches, they have these answers that are so media worthy, I guess. But he, in that interview, he was talking like a regular fan, like me and you would talk.
Right.
He's not getting the ball enough. Well, no shit, he ain't getting the ball enough. Like, it's just, he kept it real. I like that.
Right. Football Boys wants to know who's your favorite player. John, who's yours?
My favorite player right now would have to be Shedeur Sanders.
Is it really?
I do.
Wow.
I like Shedeur. It was Chubb. But now it's Sanders. What about you?
That's a tough one. If I go current.
Oh, we're talking current or old. Now that's a different story.
I don't know.
Current. Who's your current?
I'm going to go current. I mean, Miles is a logical, easy choice. I'll probably, I'm going to go different. I'm going to say Carson Schlesinger. That kid made me a believer. I remember at the draft was like, really, we're taking a linebacker with this second round pick, first pick. We need offense, and he shined. So I'm going to go with Carson Schlesinger right now. Reminds me of Clay Matthews.
Who sent that in? I missed the name on that.
That was Football Boys.
I'd like Tim to respond who his favorite was.
Yeah, who's your favorite?
I'd love to hear. If you're talking all time, then it's probably Bernie Kosar.
Yeah, that'd probably be a good one. So
or Hampton Dixon.
Oh, I remember you used to have the 29 jersey and everything growing up, playing when we'd play our backyard football.
Yeah.
So we have here Todd Monken, his path. I don't know if it was, oh boy, I was worried about that. His path to becoming a head coach. That one's a little tougher to read, but I don't know how well. Can you see that, John, or not really?
No, but I know he was at Ole Miss, Mississippi State, was it? Not Mississippi State.
Yeah, I got it here. So in 89 to 90, he was at Grand Valley State, a graduate assistant. 91 to 92, he was a Notre Dame graduate assistant. From 93 to 99, Eastern Michigan defensive backs, wide receivers coach, offensive coordinator, quarterbacks coach. And 2000 and 2001, he was at Louisiana Tech as a running backs coach and wide receiver coach. 02 to 04, Oklahoma State passing game coordinator and wide receiver coach. And then 05-06 back to Louisiana State as passing game coordinator, wide receiver coach. And then he got into the NFL. 07 to 10, Jacksonville Jaguars had him as a wide receiver coach. Went back to college in 11 and 12 as Oklahoma State offensive coordinator and quarterback coach. Was a head coach at Southern Miss from 2013 to 15.
Southern Miss, that was the one.
Yeah, and then he popped back to the NFL. He was at Tampa Bay, our buddy Brownie's favorite team, from 2016 to 18 as the offensive coordinator. Then, for those that don't know, he was Cleveland Browns. He was our offensive coordinator. That was Freddie Kitchens' one-and-done year.
Yep.
And rumors had that those two did not get along at all. Everything was difficult. So 2020 to 22, he was at Georgia.
Won 2 national championships.
Yep, offensive coordinator. And then from the last 3 years, from 23 to 25, he was Baltimore's offensive coordinator, and now he's the head coach. So
deserving. He put his time in.
Yeah, he did. Yeah. I mean, what is he, 60, I think? 59 so. Going on 60 this year. So he's put his time. Football Boy said he's a Vikings fan, so Justin Jefferson. It's not a bad pick. He had a down year. I mean, it was all quarterback play for him. I mean, he's one of the top probably 3 receivers in all of football. So not a bad player. He's a hell of a player.
Yeah, he is.
For sure. So, that was his little background, I guess, to becoming an NFL head coach for Monken. So there are some interesting comments, and now I don't know how well these are going to show up, but we'll see how they do. John Harbaugh, his quote he said, Todd is an outstanding coach. He has worked his way up and paid his dues. He was invaluable in what we did the past 3 years in Baltimore. He deserves this opportunity, and I believe he will be successful. Todd is a good friend. I wish him all the best with the Browns. So that was from Harbaugh, his former boss. And
his former boss that got fired because he wouldn't fire Monken.
That's the big rumor, that he got fired because he wouldn't fire him. So we'll see. But the reports also were that Harbaugh wanted him to
go to New York. He
wanted him to, come with him and be the coordinator in the Giants. So, there's that. And then Kirby Smart, Georgia's coach, he said, Todd brought an exceptional level of professionalism and creativity to our program. His ability to develop quarterbacks and craft game plans tailored to our players' strengths was instrumental to our success. What we accomplished wouldn't have been possible without his impact. We're incredibly excited for Todd and Terry. So a couple former bosses of his. I mean, what are they going to say? Boy, the Browns really fucked up with that one. Excuse me, sorry. What were they thinking? He's a terrible choice.
Right.
There's a reason why, So,
I'm glad he's gone.
Right. But no, I guess that's positive, if you want.
Yeah, for sure.
And then Monken's rankings, we talked about it a little bit, but if you look at what his rankings were now, I think this was combined. The last 3 seasons in Baltimore, I think they took all 3 years for this. He was the number 1 rushing yards with over 8,512. I can't read. It's got in small print what per game, but what are the rest there, John?
Let's see. I don't know. I can't see it, Steve.
You can't see that?
I told you I have one screen. I'm running I'm running a rinky-dink operation here.
So he was number 1 in rushing, averaging 166.9 yards per game. I mean, it doesn't hurt when you have Travis Henry, or Derrick Henry, Travis Henry. Wasn't he former Travis Henry? Oh my gosh.
Running back.
Yeah.
Travis Henry.
Wasn't it Travis?
Yeah.
Number 2 in scrimmage yards, over 19,860. He was at, they averaged 389 per game. Number 3 in points at 27.9. Rushing TDs, they were 3rd with 70, and receiving TDs, number 5 at 91. So that's got to be music to Browns fans. Let's hope he can translate that here and get this offense to where we hope it can be, because we've been pretty bad.
Yeah.
You don't agree?
Oh, I said, yeah, I agree. I thought you were still going.
There you go. And then they did have some exciting news. So the Browns have really been filling out their coaching staff. Who do we all get?
Who do we all get?
Yeah.
Our coaching staff? Oh,
yeah.
Steve, we got some really good coaches, actually.
Well, it looks like he definitely, went to the Baltimore Ravens. Well, which is any coach does. They go with what they're familiar with.
But yeah, but I got to imagine that Harbaugh's kind of like what happened to all my coaches that I was going to take to New York. Monken's taking them to Cleveland.
Yeah, that is true.
So our offense coordinator, I guess we need to talk about that now. It's Travis Switzer. Matter of fact, I thought this was actually someone related to Barry Switzer when I first saw this, but I looked at it.
Yeah.
I don't think he is. But Monken said during the presser that Monken would be calling the plays. So Switzer, he'll be, handling the offense, at practice, and he'll be on the headphones, but he won't be calling the plays. He was a center at the University of Akron Zips from 2011 to 2014.
Interesting.
Yeah. And then our O-line coach, George Warhop. Steve, wasn't Warhop with the Browns though? Or no, that was Blasco, right?
Blasco was for sure. I'm not sure what Warhop.
I don't think Warhop was. Then we have associate head coach Daniel Stern.
Do me a favor. What the heck is an associate head coach?
They help the coach. I think what I think they're helping, like, I don't know, Steve. You're asking the wrong. I never coached in the NFL. I could make something up, but it wouldn't be accurate.
And yes, from what I saw in here, he was with the Browns. 2009, he was hired as offensive line coach under Eric Mangini.
Warhop.
Yep.
Okay.
And then under Pat Shermer and Rod Chazinski. So he lasted through 3 coaches.
Okay.
I can't believe I forgot that. So, yep, he does have a background there. The Daniel Stern. Yeah, I don't get this assistant QB coach thing, and you said director of football strategy, but okay.
That was, with the Ravens. He's the quarterback coach and director of football strategy. Now, this kid's like, is that him? No, that's not the kid I was.
No, that's the other one.
So, because Daniel Stern is a young kid, he joined the Ravens, I believe, when he was like 21, right out of college.
Oh, wow.
I think he was Ivy League. Really, really smart kid. And I don't think that Harbaugh was too happy that he lost this kid.
Did you see the little skit that I think it was who's the guy who used to be in Good Morning Football? Schleger, Peter Schleger.
Oh, yeah.
He's now at ESPN. He did a Daniel Stern thing. Of course, everybody right away, even when I heard it, I'm thinking Daniel Stern from Home Alone.
Right.
And so he did a little thing on him. But yeah, supposedly this kid's a little boy genius. So it'll be interesting. But go ahead and talk about the quarterback coach. I just want you to say his name because I can't say it to save my life.
Mike Bajakin. It's basically what you have to do, Steve. If you don't know, you just say with confidence like you really know.
What is it again?
Mike Bajakin.
Mike Bahakian.
Bahakian.
I don't know.
Bahakian.
Anyway, he's the quarterback. This guy's going to be instrumental because he's the one now working with our QBs, with Shador, Watson. For now, Gabriel. There's a lot of rumors out there that did you hear that? This surprised me. Atlanta's talks about them letting go of
Cousins.
Kirk Cousins.
Yeah.
Would put them in the market for a backup. And what do you know? Penix is the starter right now if they stay with him. He's a lefty. All reports is that, that was Stefanski's guy. So here's another lefty quarterback to put behind. So we'll see if there's a trade. And Football Boys had asked, who do we think is going to win the Super Bowl? We're going to talk about that. That's at the end of the show. We're going to do our prediction. We usually do those at the very end. So sorry about that. I'll say I'm going with the team that has blue in their uniform. Anyway, and then who else we got? QB coach, tight end coach.
Then Jeff Blasco. We talked about Blasco. He was the assistant Browns offensive line coach in 2019. And then we have passing game coordinator Danny Breyer. And I don't know much about Danny Breyer at all, to be quite honest.
So Blasco was with the Browns before. He was an assistant, O-line coach, you said?
2019.
Okay. And now he's the tight end coach. So he will be working with Fannin. There's a picture of him. And then
maybe Njoku, if Njoku comes back, I don't think he will, but we'll see.
I don't think he's going to either, but I guess never say never and see what he's offered. It'll be interesting, but you got to help me with this.
Yes.
You said the passing game coordinator is Danny Breyer. There's a picture of him. What is a passing game coordinator? What are with all these sub coordinators, assistant coach this and a run coordinator?
What I know about it, what I saw with Shieldhouse, he was a passing game coordinator for the Rams. And I saw a interview with him where he kind of went over what he does. And he takes the whole passing game. He writes out all the plays. He puts the whole passing scheme together for the week. And then I guess they take it with the run game coordinator, and then they put their game plan together after that. So, but he basically handles anything that has to do with passing game, every play they want to run, and then he marks it up and puts it in the playbook.
All right.
So basically, it's learning how to become a coordinator. I feel like it's kind of like an understudy in a way.
There's so many damn assistant coaches. I'd love to know how many coaches are on a football roster. I mean, it just seems like it's gotten ridiculous. But anyway,
I think Paul Brown had like 3.
I don't remember, but so offensive side of the ball looks like it's pretty much come together. I know they might need some running back coach. I'd like to see. Was it Deuce Staley that was here last year? I know he was with Eagles. I thought he did a really good job. I'd like to see him back. And wide receiver, I don't know if they talked about that, so we'll have to see. But I guess the elephant in the room is big question is the defensive side, and is Schwartz going to stay?
That's a great question. I guess that's still up for debate. If Jimmy Haslam's going to have to throw some money at this issue, but then you also see there's not too many openings left for defensive coordinators right now.
No, that 49ers, when they brought in their guy, is it Raheem Morris, I think?
Yeah.
It was funny. I saw something with Sean McVay. They were actually vacationing together when he got the news.
Raheem Morris was?
Yeah, he was with McVay. They're friends. And McVay is kind of like, it's kind of hard. You get a lot of friends in this business, and eventually you're gonna have to go against them and stuff. He did say, I just wish he would have went to a different division, but he was happy. But yeah, they were vacationing together, so I thought that was funny. But if Schwartz stays, then most likely most if not all that staff stays with him and nothing really changes. So that would be a good thing.
Yeah, it would be. Definitely keep everybody in place, keeps the players happy, and takes the number 2 defense and puts it right back where it was at the end of last season.
I'm going to play this. He had his presser yesterday. Some people made more out of it, I think, than maybe it was. Some people that was a jab at Schwartz. He took a jab.
I didn't think so. I didn't think he did.
I didn't think so either, but let's see what everybody else thinks. So I'm going to see if I can pop this up here.
Patience, we're not going to change the system. Very difficult to go against. I'm not planning on changing the system. We're built for the system that they're in currently. And I'm not going to get into staffing because that's not at this time to get into that. But they can be rest assured that we're going to keep the same system. We're still going to let them attack. We're still going to let them play free. I can't see any other way. They're a big reason why I took this job. The defensive players. I didn't take this job because of Jim Schwartz. I have a lot of respect for Jim Schwartz, but as I would hope he has for me. But I took it because of the players that are here, the ownership, Andrew Berry, and the ability to build this roster from the ground up on the offensive side. So, and I said this to the other guys. I didn't think I'd say it, but I'm going to say it. When I was preparing for the Cleveland Browns, I wasn't trying to chip Jim Schwartz. I was chipping Myles Garrett. And when I was sliding a protection to the outside backers or Grant Delpit that were blitzing off the edge, I was sliding the protection of the players. And when I was worried about throwing to the right against Denzel Ward or Tyson Campbell to the left, that's who I was worried about throwing at.
So there they are. What'd you think of that, John?
I liked it. I don't think that he was being disrespectful to Jim Schwartz at all. And I think it's a very smart coaching move to run the same system that you ran last year. Why try and reinvent the wheel when you got the guys that can definitely play in this system?
Yeah, I would agree. Right now, I don't know how many more really openings are left for stuff. The window's kind of closing unless he decides to sit up. But at bottom line, you're under contract. So, will cooler heads prevail? And he'll be like, okay, I'll stick it out another year and then regroup and see what happens next year. That'd be, I guess, the ideal situation. And hopefully they work together. So I guess we'll see. So you have been pretty active on TikTok.
Oh.
Do you know your TikTok handle or no? Because I don't.
It's yeah, I'll tell you in a second. Why?
I still don't have TikTok, but I guess I got to get with the age and open up an account.
It's just John Cleveland Browns Talk. Cleve Browns Talk.
Okay, I know you popped up some stuff, and one of the big rumors. They're making it. The NFL is hell bent on going global with all these games and stuff, and there's been a lot of chatter that. Well, I think it's confirmed the Saints are going to Paris. Right. I don't think it's been confirmed that it is the Browns. That's the big speculation because we do play them. It's a road game.
Yeah, it came out before it was announced by the NFL. It was leaked by one of the Paris's sports media outlets.
Right.
And it was the Saints and Browns. Now, like I said, the NFL hasn't said anything about the Browns, but I'm feeling pretty confident that we will be going to Paris. Well,
where there's smoke, there's fire.
The Browns will be going to Paris.
That's a bummer. I know they're in Saints. Was it just last year or the year before? And I've been dying to do a road trip for a Browns game. And of course, that's a place that would be total. We went, remember years ago, we did that cruise. What was it, 09 or 10? We did a carnival cruise out of New Orleans. So we only spent like one day there. I'd love to go back and just check out the city. It's so much fun. The food, the entertainment, the beads, all that fun stuff. So, damn, if they go and play in Paris, I'm not going to Paris.
No, me neither. Well, there's a lot of talk too. The NFL wants to basically have every team play one game a year overseas to expand the schedule.
What is there? What did I hear? There's like 5.
Well,
five, I don't know if that. What's that?
There's 3 games in England.
Right. Germany had one, and
Germany.
I thought there was 5 there, and that wasn't even counting the Paris one. So they're was it Mexico? I don't know if it was Mexico or not.
I don't think it was Mexico City this year.
Yeah. So,
but there's a decent amount though and they're going to be adding to that.
Yeah. No, I agree. So we'll see. But that's the hot rumor that the Browns might be over in Paris. If you went to Paris. Just say you talk to your wife and you're like, hey, we're gonna get away for a nice romantic trip to Paris. Just you and I, and oh yeah, the Browns are happen to be there. Would you wear one of those French hats?
Of course.
What are they called again? Oh my god. Yeah.
I'd probably wear a raspberry one.
And would you be singing that song the whole time? So yeah, that'll be pretty interesting. So anyway, that was the news with that. I thought this was kind of interesting as we'll try and wind up the Brown stuff here. I saw this come up. I'm optimistic, but I got to have a little ray of doubt. Jimmy Haslam's head coach hires hasn't been all that great. It's this is now the 6th head coach he's hired. Rob Chudzinski was the first one, and he did
what was that, around 2013 or so? Not sure. It was somewhere around there, right?
Yeah, because it was before Manziel. Wasn't Pettin the year after? Didn't we take Manziel in 14? That whole debacle. So you had Rob Chudzinski with a 1 season, a 25% winning percentage. Mike Pettin, which I think other people were controlling stuff than him. He had a 31% winning percentage. everybody's favorite, Hugh Jackson. In fact, they just had Happy Hugh Jackson 131 Day, January 31st. I saw that all over social media. Wow. If you round up, he had a 9% winning percentage. Wasn't even double digit. 9%.
9%?
I've never seen that before.
That's like Animal House shit right there.
Wow. That's incredible.
0.00. You got 0.9%.
0.88. So basically 9%. Freddie Kitchen was fourth in his one and done 375 winning percentage. That was 19 when Monken was his coordinator. And then Stefanski being the fifth coach he hired, he had a 45% winning percentage, 2-time coach of the year, 2 times made the playoffs, and now we're on coach 6. So let's hope for better things. I guess, Hugh Jackson really messed stuff up there because there was a trend of winning percentages going up until you got to Hugh. And then it just shot it right back down, and then it turned right back to going upward. So there's a gleam.
Let's hope Todd Monken changes this pattern, because that means that every 2 years the Browns are getting a new coach, basically. And I don't like that.
No, I agree. But some other good news, wrap up our Brown segment here, but some other big news that came out the other day was no surprise here. Myles Garrett, I know he's already been named some other defensive player of the year, but the Sporting News officially named him their defensive player of the year. So when did they do? Is it the week? Since I'm all messed up with my Super Bowl, is it this week?
I think it's a Saturday night.
Yeah, where they do the
NFL honors.
So we'll see what happens there. But Sporting News officially named him his player of the year. And then real quick, I don't really know if anybody even watched it. Did anybody out there watch the Pro Bowl last night, the game? Because I did. Did you, John?
No, I did not. But I on the way home from work, I listened. It was on the radio, which I was a little surprised that they put a flag football game broadcasting on the radio. But
right, and it's crazy. It was a Tuesday. I mean, this used to be a weekend thing or whatever. So, I heard Myles. I think he didn't. I thought I saw a video of him doing the dodgeball, but he decided not to participate in the game. Sanders and I believe Ward, they did both participate. I did hear a little bit on X. Right away, people are like, "Oh, Shador with an interception or 2." I think he had at least 2. But they didn't mention that he also threw 2 touchdowns, and Burrow, Goff, other quarterbacks had interceptions too. So,
it's like whatever. Who cares? It's like flag football, backyard football.
Right. I'll tell you what, it looked like Flacco was really eating it up. I saw some videos. It was so the AFC quarterbacks were Burrow, Flacco, and Sanders, and you could tell Sanders and Flacco had a little bit of a rapport with each other. I saw them joking around quite a bit and talking well of each other, and so. Whatever. That's it. So that's enough about that. We're going to move on here to another segment here. We're just going to do some NFL news, and we're going to kind of hit this as well. And what do we got for NFL news here, John?
The head coaching positions. Now we have all 10 are filled. Everybody's got their coach. So
that is true.
I think Cardinals were the last one to hire.
It was either the Cardinals or the Raiders. And I have that graph here. So there was 10 openings. And the first one that started the whole chain reaction here was Harbaugh getting hired by the Giants. And then I think I got it up for you, John. There you go. So what do we got? Who are the 10 coaches hired? Can you see that?
I would tell you if I can see it, Steve.
So I think Harbaugh started off being hired first with New York. Stefanski went next to Atlanta. And then after that, I don't really remember the order, but Miami hired Jeff Hafley, the defensive coordinator from, I believe, the Packers, was it? Or was he not Miami? I think it was the Packers. Robert Salah got hired. San Fran's coordinator got hired again. He was a head coach before, but he's now at Tennessee. Jesse Minter, the young, who we interviewed, young defensive coordinator out of San Diego, or not San Diego, LA Chargers. He's now Baltimore's head coach. Pittsburgh, this one, I guess a slight surprise, but knowing his background, Mike McCarthy goes to Pittsburgh. Joe Brady gets promoted from Buffalo. He was with Buffalo as a coordinator. He's now their head coach. Mike LaFleur, not to be confused with Matt, which a lot of people were. He's now in Arizona, so that'll be interesting. Cleveland got Monken, and I think Clint Kubiak was the last one.
Oh, Kubiak.
Yeah, and it had everything, the Super Bowl, but all reports are he's going to be their next head coach, which not a surprise. I know he's been a hot candidate, so they're all hired. So we will see who's the best of the bunch, who's the worst, how it all goes.
Well, a couple things. One is we don't know. Like you could say, oh, Monken, he sucks, or Monken, he's good. Like nobody knows.
Yeah.
It all just depends.
There's a lot of experts on X that I think they know everything, but
dude, nobody knows anything until the helmets start cracking,
Yeah.
But here's a question for you.
What's that?
Out of those 10 coaching positions, let's say by the time the Browns move to the new stadium in 2029,
Mm-hmm.
how many of those coaches do you think will still be with those teams?
Ooh.
In the next 3 to 4 years?
2, 3 to 4 years, 3, 4, 5. Uh-oh. What happened? There we go.
You think 5?
6. I'm gonna go 7.
You think 7 of these 10 coaches will be coaching in the next 4?
Once I said it out loud, it sounded a little ridiculous.
I think 7 will be fired within the next 4 years.
I'm gonna go devil's advocate and be like, okay, Stefanski's probably gonna be successful and he'll still be there. I'm gonna go Harbaugh probably still there. I think just because it's the story of our luck sometimes that Baltimore is going to find another great coach and Minter's going to be around. So that's 3. I think Joe Brady might stick around. 4. I'm going Todd Monken being there because I am ever so optimistic.
That's 5. And then what about McCarthy?
For some reason, I don't see him lasting.
But the Steelers coaches last like 20 years.
It's time to break that tradition. Actually, I use that logic with Baltimore, but I don't see him. I had Todd Monken. I think Clint Kubiak, for some reason, although it's the Raiders, they got a lot of capital to work with. I was a little high on Kubiak. I think he's a bright, young-minded OC. So I'm going to go with him. And now I'm trying to remember who I thought the other one was. 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm going to change it to 6. Sounds a little better. What do you think?
3.
Do you have what 3?
Harbaugh, Stefanski, and somebody else.
Oh, we'll try and bookmark this, and we'll have to see.
Hopefully, Monken.
I'm going to be optimistic and say there's a gleam. And you know what? He's won me over. Don't you like when they say, "Oh, he won the press conference"? You know how many times a coach has won the press conference here and it's been crap?
Browns coaches win press conferences as much as Cleveland Browns tailgaters win tailgating.
That's true. And I'll tell you what, I think it's going to be a different kind. Just on the few times I've heard him talking to people, you're going to get different answers. I think you're going to get more upfront answers than Stefanski and some of these other guys that always towed the line. I got to be better. We got to do better. And
God,
the coaches, Mangini, Crennel, all those guys always said they really didn't ever say much. So I think he's going to be more forthcoming with stuff. For me, it'll be a breath of fresh air. I like that. I want my coach to say stuff. So,
me too.
I was going to talk. They had the salary cap. I can't figure that out for the life of me. I know there's a guy with is it the Brown and Orange Report, Jack Duffin, that's kind of like a local expert on all that. It's above my pay grade. I don't understand. I couldn't tell you to save my life. They did say what projected cap space is supposed to be right around $306 million, which is up about $27 million from the year before, which was, I think, was $279. And everybody's talking about the Browns having some money to work with. Yet on Fox NFL, they had us at 27th with minus 19.5. Now, a lot can happen. I mean, we still don't know what's going on with Teller, Batonio.
Right.
I believe.
I think really all this stuff really doesn't matter until you're out from under that Deshaun Watson deal, right? I mean, that's just totally just strapping the Browns so hard in the salary cap.
Well, I don't get it. I know they keep pushing stuff back, and eventually it catches up to you. Again, I don't understand. I couldn't explain that. I thought it was it's not a very hard salary cap as we've seen over the years with these teams. So Anyway, but I thought this was pretty interesting. This posted up, I think it was again on Fox. There's all of a sudden a bunch of stadiums looking to open up soon, and they had NFL stadium timelines. And I don't know why that's not a little bit clearer, but I thought these were pretty interesting. I've heard about some, well, actually I knew about all of them, but so they have here, I'm going to pull up, I got another screen to pull it up on mine so I can it's a little bigger. But so in 26, I knew Buffalo's about to open theirs. Highmark Stadium in Orchard Park set to open next year, or this upcoming season, I guess. Which next year, since we're still in the same season. 27. Can you see that, John?
Tennessee Titans are opening a new stadium.
Yeah, new Nissan Stadium with roof. I'm blown away that Buffalo didn't do the dome. You know,
I did hear though that they've got heating coils throughout the concrete.
Oh,
by all the seats so that the snow doesn't pile up. It'll just melt when they get those big snowstorms. So they're not going to have to call everybody in Buffalo to bring a shovel down to the stadium anymore.
That happened a few years, and they even had to move a game to, what was it, Detroit, to do a game?
Yeah.
So, geez. Yeah, that's crazy. That is wow.
And then what we have 2028, we've got Jacksonville will have a new stadium. The stadium.
Yeah, that one's, well, it's a $1.4 billion renovation, Stadium of the Future, set for 28. So they're renovating theirs. Of course, as long as there's no other holdup, seems like every other week some former politician or somebody's trying to do stop this and file a lawsuit. But the Browns are set to open up in Brook Park, the Dome Stadium, in 29. I guess the question mark is the Bears. The big issue with them is they're exploring their options either in Arlington Heights and Indiana. So there's a chance they could move across, which would be just kind of weird if you think about it. For them to be in Indiana. I know it's right close, but still, they're known as the Chicago Bears. So
yeah, that would be a little strange.
The big one was the KC announced that they're doing a new plans to move team to Kansas. So where are they at now? Your sister, is that the one that they're right next to the Royals?
Yeah, remember we went to the Royals game?
Yeah, we went to see your sister who lived in Kansas City at the time, and we got to go to a Royals game while we were there, and the stadiums are literally right there. Yeah. So that's in
Kansas City, Missouri, right?
Right. Well, isn't it something weird where they're like so close to the border of each other? So it's not like a big deal, like, you know, oh, you went. But yeah, they're announced they're going to move the team to Kansas. And then the Broncos. They have a new stadium with a proposed roof set to open in 2031. And finally, the last one was, this one looked pretty cool. I don't know if you ever saw the pictures of the Washington new RFK Stadium in Washington set to open in 2030.
Yeah, it looks like a monument almost. It's pretty cool.
Yeah, it was. I got to admit, it looked pretty slick. So I thought, what's that?
I got to take. So I have a question.
Yeah.
So there was in Denver, there was Mile High Stadium.
Yes.
Did they tear that down for like and build a new stadium? That always been Mile High. I thought they got a new stadium.
I don't know for them. That's a good question.
Because for some reason I thought that Denver got a new stadium like 20 years ago.
That's what I thought. I thought theirs was newer. And so they have what? Empowered Fields at Mile High that opened in 21. So what's that? 25 years. So that was that. The Empowered. What's that?
What year did Empower open?
2001.
Oh, okay. So they're getting 30 years. I guess they're getting a new stadium then.
And I just pulled that up. It said something about as of late 2022, 100 million in upgrades were announced for Empowered Field. Yet they're going to build another. These guys were building new stadiums. I mean, I'm used to having municipal stadium for 90 years here, and everybody's wanting to build new stadiums in 20, 30 years. That blows me away.
Crazy. And I got to say, the Washington Stadium looks awesome because it looks like a monument. And I think all the stadiums look great, except our dome looks like a warehouse. And it really,
you don't like it?
No, I don't. Do you?
It's not bad.
Hopefully it looks better in person. It looks like a rusted out warehouse to me.
I don't like the suggested prices they're throwing out there that we did a survey with. That, you know, we have our season tickets, but we'll see for how much longer. But anyway, so that was it. That's some NFL news.
Nice.
Therapy session. There wasn't much really to do on our therapy session, but I did find a couple things just to talk about real quick. It's we're going to try and stay to an hour today, and we got 14 minutes, so we're going to see. John, Olympics are starting here. Are you a big Olympics person?
Yes.
Okay, so you'll be watching.
I love watching the snowboarding.
Yes,
and I love watching the figure skating.
Yeah,
And
the figure
speed.
skating is pretty. They got that. I forget the kid's name. There's a kid from the United States that's never. I guess nobody's done this like quadruple something, whatever it is that everybody's high end. So we'll
Is
see.
that the kid from Rocky River?
No, was it? I don't honestly. I don't know. I don't follow it much, but I got really big into all the winter stuff. Sean White doing the snowboarding. I've never snowboarded, but I got to admit when he was around, that brought me into that. One of my all time Winter Olympic athletes was Apollo Ono.
Yeah.
Remember the speed skater?
Yep.
I loved watching him. He was awesome. And all the downhill skaters. So that's kicking off here, I believe.
This weekend.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure. So
Yeah.
you got that. So we'll kind of watch out. And then the big news regarding the Olympics was Lindsey Vonn, American hopeful ski racer. I didn't realize she's 41 and she had been out of she's been away 6 years from racing, and she's 41, but man, just this week before she ended up rupturing her right ACL, a bone bruise and meniscus tears.
Well, that's what happens when you're 41.
Well, the shocker was she announced she still plans to compete.
That's one tough cookie right there.
I wish her all the best. I love it. I mean, she's been a phenomenal United States Olympic athlete. 41. That's some of those. I know there's been men that have gone, older and stuff. So, we'll see if she can do it. But that's Lindsey Vonn. And then the big local news, which just happened. Was it yesterday?
Last night.
Last night. Thanks. I didn't see it at first. I thought our buddy Rob, shout out to Rob Jacobs. He texted us saying it's official. And then I didn't see anything for a while, but then it blew up all over social media, was that the Cavs made a big trade. They sent Darius Garland and a second-round pick to the Clippers for one James Harden, the beard. What you think?
I thought, at first I didn't really care for the deal.
Right.
I like Garland, and I thought that James Harden's a little old and likes to play between the circles, kind of wants to play when he wants to play. But you look at his numbers, what he does, I think he's got around 26 to 28 points a game this year. I think that's the scoring that you're going to need in the playoffs, because Darius Garland last year was injured. He, couldn't play in the playoffs. So I like this deal to bring Harden in. Let's make a run at this thing.
It hasn't really worked out. Now, I will say I was listening to Kenny Rhoda. Remember the roadman driving in the road van? He's still around. I see him on social media. He still does that little bit. He'll drive around in his car. He did throw out some stats, and Harden over the last few years, his numbers in the playoffs, points he's averaging really wasn't that good, but man can score. They're looking short term and they're looking to win championships. I mean, Donovan Mitchell's made it clear he wants to win championships. I don't think those guys are at his level with how bad he wants to win. I'm all for it. Shake it up. The Big Four hasn't worked for us. And I did forget one thing you had on there. We had that Jimmy Haslam video that you want. I'm going to pop that up real quick.
Better football team, and I think it'll be, what's Terry say? They're ugly to watch. I expect we'll win more games. I do, and I think we'll have a better football team, and I think it'll be, what's Terry say? They're ugly to watch sometimes. We're not going to be ugly to watch, okay? And I actually take that seriously. I mean, we want it to be a fun team to watch, a team that plays hard, plays smart, and most of all wins.
There you go. He expects to win.
Blah, blah, blah.
Wow.
Blah, blah, blah. Jimmy, anyway. Let's just win, Jimmy. I'm tired of him talking. Can we not even listen to him anymore? Now you just put me in a bad mood, Steve.
You're the one that wanted to play it. Anyway, I think this is a perfect time to take a break for our sponsors. So we're going to be right back. And thank you for coming back with the show. Want to thank our sponsor, Hemisphere Coffee Roasters. They've been sponsoring us and a lot of the other shows here on the Fanatical Alps Network. They're saying is we shake the hand of the coffee farmers. So check them out. They got a variety of coffees right here located in Mechanicsburg, Ohio. And again, want to thank them for being a sponsor. There you go. We got all the legal obligations out of the way. So let's move on here. We got
Super Bowl 60 time.
Super Bowl talk, which impromptu was all put together this morning pretty much. Luckily I had stuff for next week, but anyway, We got Super Bowl. What is it, John? Hit us.
Super Bowl 60 in Santa Clara, home of the San Francisco 49ers, Levi's Stadium. Game's at 6:30. What are you doing for the game, Steve?
I don't know. Now that I'm not feeling well, it's probably down to staying home with the wife and just doing our own little thing. Our boat club does they have a big potluck. Bunch of people show up, bring a dish, and we got a bunch of flat screens all around. So if I'm feeling okay, we may go to. I know my wife kind of wanted to do that, so it's either stay home or maybe go down to our club for a little bit. But what about you?
Got a couple parties to go
Do
to.
you?
Yeah.
Nice.
Other than that, it's I'm more for me for Super Bowl is more about just having fun.
Yeah.
Watching commercials, watching the game, but talking and getting together. So
I was kind of irked or pissed off. I watch the Today Show sometimes in the morning as I'm working at my desk, and I have a little screen up, and apparently they've been showing some of the commercials that'll be on the Super Bowl. I'm like, well, that's kind of ruined. I mean, back in the day, I was more about the games. I didn't really care that much about the commercials, and some of the games I could care less about. So I do enjoy them, I guess.
I do too. Yeah, it's fun.
Well,
sometimes they try too hard, but sometimes you get a good one.
Yeah. What's the last I saw? What was the spread?
It's 4.5. I'm looking right now. It's still 4.5.
Okay. What's the over under?
Over and under is 45.5.
I ain't even gonna talk about the plethora of prop bets that they can do, from the singing and the national anthem to what color Gatorade and everything in between.
Yeah.
So
I had some of those, but we don't have to go through those. We're kind of getting tight on time here.
Yeah. No, you had but you did have something interesting for 2027 Super Bowl.
Yeah. So if you want to place your bets, go to your local app, and if you're in Ohio, and put a bet down on the Cleveland Browns to win the 2027 Super Bowl. They're 12,500 to 1.
Wow.
They're 12. I'm sorry, not to 1. They're just plus 12,500.
That would be remarkable, huh?
Well, let's see. But if you what would that be, Steve? It'd be a hell of a lot of money. I think it's like $4,000 or something on a $10 bet.
Probably. You asked me. I'm sick. I love numbers.
I know, and I can't find it.
I found these little nuggets here about Super Bowls won by the division. The AFC East has won 9 Super Bowls. AFC North 8. We know who isn't a part of that, unfortunately. AFC South is only 2, and the AFC West has been the dominant one. They've won 10 Super Bowls out of that division. And then out of the NFC, you had, as far as the NFC East, 14 was the leader. That's Dallas, Philly, Giants, and Washington. So they've won the most. NFC North has only won 5. NFC South 3. And Tampa, I think, has 2 of those now. And New Orleans, Carolina hasn't won, and I don't believe Atlanta. So I think Tampa's got 2, and then the NFC West has 8. For some reason, I thought they were going to be higher. It's San Fran's dominance in the 80s, and the Rams resurgence, and Seattle's won 1, but they do have Arizona. So anyway, so I thought those were interesting. And then the other thing I thought was kind of interesting too, if you break it down by conference, you had, for those that can't add up all those, you have the NFC right now has the edge at 28-27 for Super Bowl. Well, what did you say? NFC and AFC became conferences after Super Bowl 4. So that's
so if New England wins, they're tied all time at 28-28.
Yeah, that's I thought that was interesting. That's that even. So
I do find that interesting.
Yeah, that's what I do. I find interesting stuff out for everybody.
That's why you're the best.
Oh, you're too kind. Anyway, let's move along here. Well, I wanted to do a lot more, and again, like I said, I kind of botched. I thought we had a whole extra week, and now that I'm sick, but well, I thought this was interesting. Hit this super snowboard. Last 10 Super Bowl quarterback matchups. This one doesn't have the sizzle with Darnold and May. You had Mahomes and Hurts, Purdy, and well, we know who's been there the last 3 years with Mahomes. But this one doesn't quite have the sizzle. So we'll see. Still, I think it'll be a good game. But anyway, this one I wanted to talk to you real quick about.
What's that?
I saw this. I want to see how you feel. So everybody loves to talk about the halftime shows.
Yes.
This was on Daily Ranker, Fox Sports. They had top 10 Super Bowl halftime shows. I think a large percentage of people think Prince's was the all-time best at one. What about you?
That was good. I remember that one. That was good. That was memorable. Who else do we got?
You got Janet Jackson with Justin Timberlake.
That was number one. Are you crazy?
That was the
That was
infamous nipple.
one.
That was 2004. Prince was 07. Then it was Beyonce 2022, her show.
Oh, that was good.
Or wait, was that?
Yeah.
No, that was no, I take that back. 22. That was Dr. Dre, Snoop Dogg.
Oh,
Eminem,
I love that one.
50 Cent.
Snoop's lighting up under the stage. That was great.
I got to admit, that was that's in my top 3 probably.
Yeah, that was good.
Michael Jackson was for it in 1993. And I'll be honest, I don't remember. I mean, Michael Jackson was a phenomenal performer.
Right. I'm sure it was good.
Lady Gaga was voted 5th on 2017. I didn't like this one.
I remember that.
I wasn't a fan of last year's. I know a lot of people were. 2025. It was Kendrick Lamar.
Oh yeah, I like Kendrick Lamar. That was good.
Yeah, I wasn't that one. I didn't really get. 13 coming in at 7 was in 2013 was Beyonce and Destiny's Child. Say my name. I love that. And then Aerosmith. I think it was Aerosmith, NSYNC, Britney Spears, and Mary J. Blige. In 2001 was 8th. The Boss, Bruce Springsteen in 09, they had as 9th. And then the final one was top 10 was in 2020. It was Jennifer Lopez and Shakira. Her hips don't.
I don't remember those last couple, like from 8, 9, and 10. I don't remember those.
I do remember that. I don't remember Aerosmith 2001 and NSYNC and all that. I don't remember that as much. So there you go. What do you think overall?
I like those. Yeah, those are some good ones. The top ones are very, very memorable.
Bad Bunny's doing this one. So all right, we're gonna skip ahead. We're gonna skip the one segment, I think. You think we're not gonna do any draft talk today, but we're gonna get to the favorite segment here, the land. And where John, this was all you. So where did you go this week?
So this week we went to Char Whiskey Bar and Grill in Rocky River, Ohio.
Okay.
So Saturday, was it Saturday? Yeah. So that was the day I helped Maddie move. And I've been outside all day long, came home, told Aaron, hey, let's go get something to eat. Mother-daughter Taylor, she was going to Cancun. So on Sunday, or Monday. So we wanted to see her before she left. So we went over to Rocky River to Char.
Okay.
I got to say, the inside was really cool.
I didn't put up all the pictures, but they look like it. Is it new or has it been there for a while?
It's been there for a couple years.
Okay.
I had gone to breakfast there 2-3 years ago, but I had never had a dinner there.
Okay.
But nice, a lot of woodwork, lot of bourbon, Steve. They had some nice bottles of bourbon that I
saw you sent a bunch of pictures to me. I don't know if I got all of them up here, but
I think they had the Pappy Van Winkle.
Yeah, that's a tough one to get. That.
Yeah, they had a big selection. So, anyways, me and Taylor actually got the exact same thing.
Okay.
And we thought the exact same thing too. So we start off with the French onion soup. It's a Cabernet stock with the mozzarella and naan bread.
That sounds good.
You would think.
I thought we were doing so good.
So the broth was good. The Cabernet stock was good, but the mozzarella and
did you say the broth was good?
Yeah, like the broth for the soup. It was good.
I thought you said the broad. The broad was good.
That broad was good.
Okay.
But they had a round piece of naan bread that was like toasted, kind of toasted on top. And you usually get like croutons.
Yeah.
The naan bread was impossible to like break up. It was so hard.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah. So and the taste of the naan bread, it didn't really do it for me, Steve. Fortunately, I got the char burger after that. The local beef with short rib on top, char cheese, which I don't know what char cheese really is, a bourbon glaze, and onion straws on a pretzel bun. Now
That sounds awesome, actually.
yeah,
I
it
would
was
crush
really
that.
good. And I didn't get we didn't get the pretzel bun, just because I've never had a pretzel bun and I didn't want to start on this burger.
I'm not a big pretzel bun fan, to be honest. Sometimes I feel like it's too much. A lot of people love it. It's not. Give me a good brioche or good solid
Yes.
bun, potato or something.
I've never had a pretzel bun, but
Yeah.
I've had that. So we substitute the brioche bun.
Okay.
I
I'm not
gotta
gonna lie,
say,
that burger looks amazing. Cooked
It
to
was-
your perfection, not returned.
not returned. Look at that. It's a nice looking burger, medium, perfectly cooked. The bourbon glaze was perfect. You didn't have to didn't add any mayo, mustard, none of that stuff. So
Nice. That looks awesome. You
Yeah.
started scaring me a little bit when you started talking about the soup. I'm like, oh, could this be your first not so good place to go? Because you've been pretty much on. I mean, there's a few things not that great, but overall you weren't like terrible. So
yeah,
nice.
the soup. But when I got the soup at first, I'm like, oh my gosh, what is going? But then the burger definitely came through big time.
That's
Came-
Char. What's it called? Char Whiskey Bar and Grill
Yeah,
in Rocky River. You said.
right.
Okay. Oh, it looks amazing.
Yeah, it was really good. And then Steve, next week
Yes.
I'm going to be going to the Cleveland Home and Garden Show this Saturday.
Is that at the IX Center? Is that the last show they're doing?
Well, I don't know if it's the last one. Why are they tearing the IX Center down?
Yeah, I thought they were doing something. The boat show was just about a week or two ago. I didn't go. I went last year, and to be honest, I was disappointed. It's gotten so much smaller. It's like not even half of the size it used to be. So I didn't waste our time this year. But yeah, I think the boat show next year is going to be down at the convention center downtown. And I could have swore are they tearing it down or doing something. I'll have to double check, but I don't think there's many more events at the IX Center for some reason.
Oh, well, I could. Then I guess for me, this is a last chance to go into the IX Center since it's been a lifelong, it's been there since we were kids at the IX
Oh, yeah.
Amusement Park.
Yeah, it says I just pulled it up. It's transitioning from a public exhibition space to an industrial facility, ending its 35-year run as major venue following a 49-year lease extension with Industrial Realty Group. So
Well, that's news to me.
the venue hosted its final set of public shows in early 26 is all it says. So I think that's one of the last ones to go, if not the last.
Okay, well, guess I'll say my goodbyes to the IX Center.
But we went there. I got to tell a quick story. I know we're up against it here. We're a few minutes over, but years ago we'd gotten our one dog. This one, Deb and I first got together. We had a house. So this one we had Kirby, and we were so excited about the thought of possibly doing a log cabin home. We're like, oh, that looks amazing. Something about a log cabin home looked really cool. Our parents had some land. We're thinking maybe we'll do that. Akron had their home and garden show, and they boasted about we're going to have a log cabin home at the thing. To go in, they have the homes there and you can go in and walk through them and stuff. Like, cool, let's go. And so we go there. Biggest disappointment in my life. I show up. It's basically a shed, like a 16 by 16 shed. And the lady's like, there's the kitchen. There's the living room. I'm like, it's one freaking room. I'm like, this is the log home. I was so, me.
Yeah,
I can go George Costanza. I was so pissed off. I'm like, we drove all the way
this
to
isn't a log home,
right? I'm like, oh my God. So then it just gets worse. We're walking through the show, and there's a Akron APL. I don't even remember who they're with. They had dogs. Of course, we see this one black lab mix Sandy, and we see her, and I'm like, oh, Kirby. Both at that point, both my wife and I we didn't work from home. I'm like, boy, it'd be nice to have Kirby have a buddy to play with. So we're like, let's get a dog. I'm making something out of this trip. So we're like, okay, we'll take the dog. Well, the lady's like, great. Do you have a leash? I'm like, no, I'll buy one. She's like, we don't have any. I'm like, and then this is where I did go George Costanza. I'm like, who goes to a home and garden show with the intention of getting a dog? And what organization comes to a home and garden show? And it's the rule, the dog's got to be on a leash, yet you don't bring any.
That makes no sense.
Oh, and then this lady come up to us. God bless her, because if I would have saw me, I'd be like, this guy's an asshole. She's like, you know what? Hold on. This lady ran to her car wherever she was parked, came back after a little bit of time, gave us a leash. I'm like, thank you. I'm like, I'll pay you. She's like, no, the fact that you're giving a dog a good home. So we were like, what's your name? And she said her name was Sandy. I'm like, that's going to be her name because without you, we wouldn't have gotten her. So we ended up getting Sandy. She lived 10 years. That was the one I had the picture, took her down to the lake before we had to put her down. And you're like, how many times has she been to the lake? And you take her today, she's dying. Like, oh, look at you kind of blasted me. Remember that?
Yeah.
So anyway, sorry about that.
I never knew that. I never knew that's how Sandy got her name, was from the lady that had the.
It was because of that lady. Without her, we would never got her. And I'm like, what's your name? And Deb and I both agreed. We're like, okay. So, all right, let's finish up. We got just a couple more quick segments here. We've got our There's a Gleam segment. This one's going to be short, but you did find something here.
Steve, I've got a big gleam on for Shedeur Sanders and Todd Monken.
I was going to say, well, and we didn't bring this up. Remember that video circulated when they first met at the Browns facility about we tried to draft your ass. You remember that?
Yeah, it was good to see. I think just because, and I know they're different. Stefanski's different than Monken, but Stefanski was so just straight laced. But Monken's got that energy, like it. Not saying that Stefanski wasn't being real. It was just his personality is different than Monken's.
Yeah, for sure. For sure. He doesn't let stuff. Anytime I can work in a Step Brothers,
of course.
What do you call these little pictures? That's got Shedeur and Todd Monken as the Step Brothers. I love it. There's
so many activities.
That's one of my favorite comedy movies of all time. So, all right. Oh, there's a glimpse. So you're pretty big on the potential of what Sanders and Monken can do together.
I am, but I'm also a homer, Steve. So tread with caution.
Well, now they did say something that what was that? Debbie. Oh, I think Debbie. Oh, she liked the Step Brothers thing. After you saw that one video when they first saw each other, like, oh, look at this. He talked about how he wanted them, and then he didn't really give him exactly a ringing endorsement during his press conference. But
that's fine.
Again, I think people are reading a little too much. I mean, what's he going to say? Shedeur's my guy. He's going to have a chance to compete, but it wasn't. I guess I was a little surprised. Maybe he didn't come out a little bit stronger, like maybe saying a few things, but he was really.
I agree with you on that. I think that was a good time for Todd Monken to say, and he kind of deferred. Well, we're not talking about what we did in Baltimore. We're
right.
But the problem is you were there, so you could give a little bit and say, hey, you know what? We really liked the tape. We really enjoyed meeting him. Anything. But he just kind of didn't say much about it.
I agree. All right, my friend. Let's move on to our closing comments and prediction here.
Right.
So we know we got the Seattle Seahawks and the New England Patriots, and I'm going to let you start. Looks like
I'm going. This was a tough one, but I think it's going to be a high-scoring game. I just feel that Seattle offense is just too powerful, and the Seahawks will win 36-33.
Whoa.
Yeah.
There you go. So you're going Seattle.
Yeah. High scoring game.
It's tough to argue.
What do you think? What are you thinking?
What's the over under, like 45?
45 and a half.
This isn't the New England teams of past. I love Vrabel. I don't think Mays looked all that great in the playoffs, where Darnold's actually looked pretty good. I'm always big on who's got the best player or players. In my opinion, I think the best player in this game might be the Ohio State's own Jackson Smith and then Jigba.
I agree.
That offense, I mean, it's all going to rest on Darnold, but I agree with you as far as who I'm going with Seattle. And this isn't because our buddy Kevin Engelbart lives in Seattle now and is a big fan, but I think Seattle honestly is going to win this game. I got them 27, Patriots 17. I don't think.
Okay.
Yeah. I don't think you've got it a little closer. I've got it about a 10-point difference. That offense really, now granted, the Denver game's really hard, playing in a blizzard.
Right.
But they haven't looked all that great. Although Seattle, some will say they're a different team away from the 12th man in Seattle. So we'll see. But I think we both agree. We both have Seattle winning that. So I don't know if Football Boys is still around. You wanted a prediction? That's our predictions. We're both going Seattle over the Patriots. Let us know what you think. So John, that'll do it. And like we never do, we ran over.
Of course.
An hour and 10-minute mark. So not bad I really questioned this morning if I was going to be able to do the shows, have you go solo or cancel, but we battled through. So
you're a gamer.
I got my moments, I guess. So I want to thank everybody for listening to the show. We'll be back next week with another riveting non-Super Bowl. Well, we'll talk about we'll talk about what happened, but
You're right.
I can't believe I kept doing that. We also have some exciting news on the horizon that hopefully we'll be announcing soon. So keep your eyes out for that. Please remember to like, follow, share, subscribe, spread the word. Love to hear from you. Love to build up our listeners. And on that note, we are out of here. And I will say, go Browns.
Go Browns.